Thank you. I'll start out by saying that I talk with my hands and I'm used to walking while I'm talking, so it's going to be hard to be in a fixed position here tonight, so bear with me. As we explore the meaning of human potential tonight, I want us to each start to think about how we reach our own human potential as individuals. I'm incredibly passionate about entrepreneurism and startups and believe that they are the engines of economic growth, the engines of creativity, the engines of wealth, and can be the engines of community development in a major way. And I've spent most of my 25-year career launching startups, advising others, and really trying to make an impact on the impact of startups. As I think about human potential then, I think, are there tools and resources and methodologies that we can take from startups and the types of things that they engage in and apply them to our own selves as we seek to achieve our own human potential? And so that is what I will be talking about as soon as I can. There we go. Startup life. So I want to start by asking everyone in the room to close your eyes for a moment. Oops. All right, I want you to imagine now that you're taking a road trip. What do? This is an unknown destination that you're headed to. What's the first thing that you do? Do you go Google Maps, type in your destination, print out a map? Do you punch that destination in your navigation system? Do you actually pull out a folding map and determine the course that you're going to take? Or do you just get on the road and do you start to go there? Do you ever feel uncomfortable that the directions you've been given are not correct, or that you're not going to reach the destination that you want to reach? Do you feel uncomfortable right now being in a room of people you don't know with your eyes closed? We'll open them up. You know, I feel incredibly blessed to live in a time of such incredible technological change. And we don't really use maps like folding maps anymore. We use things like Google, where we type in a starting point like, say, 4 Market Square in Knoxville, and a destination, say, Utopia, which happens to be not too far from here. And we print out directions, or we use our mobile phone to access it. And in fact, now we have this. You know, I actually wonder if this would work. No, not so much. Right? But we do have some pretty incredible tools to tell us how we get somewhere. So what I'm going to propose to you today is a set of tools that you can use to hopefully identify and reach your human potential as an individual from lessons that I've learned through entrepreneurship in my career. I've worked in a number of startups. I've advised many others. I now work in a large media corporation. And throughout the course of that entire career, I have constantly written business plan after business plan after business plan. They take many forms. Some may be as simple as a 2-page executive summary. It could be a sketch on a cocktail napkin. It might be a PowerPoint presentation like the one I'm delivering to you tonight, or it could be a 50-page report with appendices and all sorts of attachments to help guide the way. But there's always a plan. What would our plan be to reach our human potential? How do we go from where we are today as individuals and the impact that we have on the world around us to where we think we can be, what we think we can achieve? That's a pretty daunting task, right? Trying to write a plan for how I'm going to be the best person I can possibly be and impact the world in the way that I, as an individual, and what the unique skills that I have and unique talents that I have, that I could accomplish that with. Guy Kawasaki, who was a former Apple evangelist, investor, and entrepreneur, very successful in his own right, has a rule of delivering presentations like these. It's called the 10-20-30 rule when pitching investors. 10 slides, 20 minutes, and nothing smaller than 30-point type. The outline you see here is the outline for those 10 slides. And I'd like to suggest to you that if you decide to leave here tonight to devise a plan for reaching your own human potential, that this outline, these 10 slides, serve as an excellent framework for achieving that potential. But we need to make a few changes to the exact outline that Guy uses. So from problem to personal vision. What do you see yourself as in some future state? From your solution to success factors. How will you get there? From business model to measuring success. How will you know you are there? From underlying magic to uniquely you. What is it about you as an individual, the totality of your experiences that got you where you are today, that enable you to have that particular impact? From marketing, sales to communication, you can't do that alone. You have to have a lot of people involved, and they have to know what you're trying to achieve. How you communicate that with others is critical. From competition to obstacles, what are the things that are going to prevent me from achieving that human potential? And therefore, how do I break down those barriers to success? From team to support, what are the most important things, people, and resources I need to achieve that goal? From projections and milestones to projections and milestones, they still hold true. What are the significant events along the way? Status and timeline remains unchanged as well. What does that future hold? When will it happen? And finally, from summary and call to action to summary and next steps. And that brings us to the big question for today. How would I get started? What is the next step in determining a path toward achieving my own personal human potential? And that's a pretty big question. So let's break it down into component parts. For me, as I start this journey, which it's a new journey for me, I am focused on creating a personal vision for myself, my future self, and what that looks like. And I'll share a little bit with you where that thought process is beginning to take me. I'm incredibly fortunate to be the father of an incredibly creative, intelligent, inquisitive 5-year-old daughter. And as I think about my human potential, I think perhaps the greatest impact I could have is being a great father in a way that allows her to teach others as well. But I also start to think about, how do I take that concept and apply it much more broadly in the world? And I have a friend and a client I have advised for many years who has an educational software startup that has developed technology that allows people to collaborate in entirely new ways. And he's focused on delivering that technology to the developing world so that individuals in those countries can share with one another, learn from one another in powerful new ways. And so as I start to create my own personal vision, it's how can I use my passion for entrepreneurship? How can I use my passion for technology? And how can I use my passion for being a great father to my beautiful daughter? Perhaps it's in developing technologies like my friend has created to enable people to learn, to grow, and to prosper. Thank you.